Hey everybody. Let's see. Get myself situated here. All right. I'm just going to play some tunes. Let's get started. Well, welcome. I'm kind of far away. I can't see if anybody is even in here, but I'll assume everyone is. So that was Freight Train, written by North Carolina native Elizabeth Cotten when she was like 12 or 13. And that went into Back Home in Indiana. Both of those were arranged by Tommy Emmanuel, a guitarist I like quite a bit. So yeah, currently in Carolina Beach there's 0 snow, so not really snowed in yet, but there's always hope. So I'm just gonna play through some things. I've got to do the obligatory shout out. My Venmo is right here, in case you're feeling extra generous on tips. I did have a show get canceled today, so it's not great financially, but that's all right. So yeah, let's get into some more music. Let's see. I'm gonna do one that my grandfather used to play all the time, and I play it all the time now too. And it's by the Carter family. I never got to hear how he did it, so I do it my way, and I hope you like it. It's called Wildwood Flower. she longs to see me regret life's dark hour. Gone and neglected this pale wildwood flower. All right, that's a fun one. So that was one that my grandfather used to play. I'm originally was born in West Virginia, of course there's a particular song about West Virginia, but I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to do a different one. It was written by Utah Phillips and Hazel Dickens, but the only recording I've actually heard of it was from my grandmother. It was on some tape that they made in like 1982 that she sang on, and it is called Green Rolling Hills. So here's another song about West Virginia that you might not have heard before, and I like it just as good. Virginia are the nearest thing to heaven that I know. Though times are sad and drear and I cannot linger here, they'll keep me and never let me go. My daddy said don't ever be a miner, for a miner's grave is all you'll ever own. There's hard times everywhere, I can't find a dime to spare. These are the worst times I've ever known. So I'll move away into some crowded city. In some northern factory town you'll find me there. Though I'll leave the past behind, I will never change my mind. These troubled times are more than I can bear. Someday I'll go back to West Virginia, to those green rolling hills I loved so well. Yes, someday I'll go home and I know I'll right the wrong. These troubled times will follow me no more. The green rolling hills of West Virginia are the nearest thing to heaven that I know. Times are sad and drear and I cannot linger here, they'll keep me and never let me go. They'll keep me and never let me go. So that one's for my mama. I think she might be watching, and if not, I'll show her later. So again, welcome to the impromptu live stream here in the studio, as I like to call it, also known as my mother's guest bedroom. You might have seen this stage or set before, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Let's get into the rest of the band, what I call the band of make believe. So the whole thing started with this guy, Artie. You've probably seen him the most. And the deal with him, big Jim Henson fan, and got into him a little bit last year, and just kind of the stage magic that they were able to pull off. And for doing my videos that I do, I wanted to have the ability to do harmonies and add in extra sounds and things, but I didn't like the idea of them just coming from nowhere. you see me, and then it's like, where's that, bass drum and that extra voice coming from? So I came up with the idea to get him involved, to where I could do that. So yeah, he was the first. And then more recently, I was thinking about what to do with these ideas that I've been having about everything going on in the world, mostly this country lately. Not a fan. If you are a fan of the current political climate in the country, I don't know what's wrong with you. But I came up with this idea to have another character that would be kind of a voice of reason. And that is Dr. Carl, based on Carl Sagan. So that's why he's got his little turtleneck and jacket there to look professorial. So he's the evidence-based reason kind of guy for an yet-to-be-developed project that we'll get into at some point. Fun fact, I ordered his clothes from like Gerber.com, and now my algorithm thinks I'm all about like maternity clothes and breast pumps and cool stuff like that. So a lot of cool advertising lately. And then finally, this guy here, he's the newest edition. So I did not make him. He's pretty cool. He was made, I've been apprenticing as a piano technician, tunings and regulation and repairs and all that good stuff. And my mentor, his name is Chris Young. I think he goes by C.L. Young professionally, though he's semi-retired. Once he found out I was into this kind of stuff, he was like, well, he used to be, he still is, very into theater. He was like, I made a puppet. I'm like, okay. And so he made this guy in 1991 for a production of Beauty and the Beast. Not the Disney version, but it did come out the same year as the Disney version, so it got just crushed. But anyway, he made him, and he was showing him to me, how he works and everything. And he actually works by pulleys. He's not like a hand puppet like the other two. And so it's all just strings on pulleys that make him work. He can move his eyes too. Pretty cool. And he basically gifted him to me. He said he's been in a box for 30 years, and he just wanted to have him, he wanted him to be loved and used again. So I thought that was very sweet, and I am happy to oblige. So, and his name is Orion. That was the name that he was given then. So I've just kept it. That's his name, Orion. And yes, we got Orion, Artie, and Dr. Carl. Yeah. So, all right. I'll do another guitar tune here. I'll talk a little more about them later. But anyway, that's the deal with the puppets. Kind of started as a way to add more sounds to what I'm doing here, but who knows where it'll go from here. It's one of those things, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, where it's like, I'm either really onto something or like, I'm not doing great. But hopefully it's the former. So I did a couple of arrangements by Tommy Emmanuel at the start. I'll do another one that Chet Atkins used to do and Tommy did. And it's called Windy and Warm. That one's fun. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about that one. So, as kind of a sneak peek of the next thing I was going to do with Artie, the next video, it would just be him and me, because there's only 2 vocal parts, and it's actually really hard to do them as well as myself for these videos. Just FYI, I do everything. I do all of the operating of them, all the voices, all the camera work. I'm a one-man show here. I've had people offer to help me, but I don't know why. It's just more fun to me. I guess this is just as many people as I'm comfortable working with. So yeah, everything is me. And I'll talk a little more about how I do that in a little bit. But anyway, so the next one we're going to do will be the Simon and Garfunkel version of Scarborough Fair. So I'll do at least my part of it. You know, he's not up for the task right now to do the backing harmonies and second vocal, but I'll do my best.
Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Without no seams nor needlework, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to find me an acre of land. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Between the salt water and the sea strand, then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to reap it in a sickle of leather. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And to gather it all in a bunch of heather, then she'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
All right. So yeah, again, that'll be better with Artie involved. Yeah, let's do a rockin' tune here. My mother recently told me about, there was a thing online, like a poll of if you had to get if you had to get a tattoo of like a song title, what would it be? What would be your thing? And a lot of people were like, Let It Be or Imagine. But then some maniac said Flirtin with Disaster by Molly Hatchet. And I thought that was kind of funny. And I do Flirtin with Disaster, so I'm going to do it now. It's kind of a bit of a change from the other things I've done. But yeah, I actually got to see Molly Hatchet at the Brush Fork Armory in Bluefield, West Virginia in like 2004 or something. And it was awesome. It was great. But anyway, here's Flirtin with Disaster. So, Flirtin with Disaster. It's a cool tune. It's funny, I always make set lists for these things, and then I don't do them. It's like I plan ahead, and then I end up not doing that plan. But that's all right. let's see here. I also have to watch time because I don't time things out. I just have to kind of go with it. I'll do a real quick little tune by a group called the Beatles, if you've ever heard of them. I'll do a couple of Beatles tunes. But I think I like this one the best. It's everyone's favorite song about arson. At least I think that's what happens at the end. But it's called Norwegian Wood.
Should I say she once had me? She showed me her room. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. But as I looked around, I noticed there wasn't a chair. Sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. I awoke, I was alone, this bird flown. So I lit a fire, isn't it good, Norwegian wood?
All right. Okay, let's see. I want to do that too. Okay. I'll do this and then that. Okay, so this is a tune by Billie Strings, who has gained quite a bit of popularity for a reason. He's awesome. And this is the first song that I heard him do on it's like the first YouTube video of his that blew up. He was super young, and it's just like a handheld thing. He's just sitting on a couch playing this song. And there's some weird guy in the background, barefoot, smoking an unlit cigarette the entire time. Little detail there. But this song is called Dust in a Baggie.
Well, I ain't slept in 7 days, I haven't eaten 3. Methamphetamine has got a damn good hold of me. My tweaking friends have got me to the point of no return. I just took that lighter to the bowl and watch it burn. This life of sin has got me in. It's got me back in prison once again. I use my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years of dust in a bag. Mama and Papa had said I wouldn't be locked in prison, trouble in the head. I took that little pop and sucked until my mind was spun. Now I got 20 years to sit and think what I've done. This life of sin has got me in. It's got me back in prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some dust in a baggie. jailhouse blues have got me singing this old song. My life is a disaster, Lord, and I feel so ashamed. In here where they call me by a number, not a name. This life of sin has got me in. It's got me back in prison once again. I use my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some dust in the Baggie. I use my only phone call to contact my daddy. I got 20 long years for some dust in the Baggie.
So that's fun. So I've got a bit of a bluegrass tinge to me. I understand that. And that's probably because I learned guitar in West Virginia. So a lot of people, a lot of guitar players especially, love to say, oh, I'm self-taught. I learned all this completely by myself, which is, I think, disingenuous. I have no qualms telling you I had a guitar teacher growing up. That guy's name was Barry Bowman. He's still in Princeton, West Virginia. You can go see him. He probably had a gig this weekend, but he got snowed out. But yeah, if you're ever in Princeton, West Virginia, or I think he plays in Withville, Virginia as well, quite a bit. He got me turned on to the bluegrass thing. He took me to a bluegrass competition when I was like 12, and I was in the kids thing, and I think I won or got second place. I remember I got a t-shirt that had an aircraft carrier that said "These colors don't run." That's pretty cool. And extra large, exactly what every 12-year-old wants. But Barry taught me a bunch of these, what he would call fiddle tunes. So I don't know why, I just have kept up with them over the years, kept remembering them, because they're a lot of fun. And I've just kind of strung them all together into this, what I call Barry Bowman's Bluegrass Medley. It starts with, and I'm not even 100% on the names of all of the things. I think it goes Salt Creek is the first one, into Cherokee, into Blackberry Blossom, and then Sailor's Hornpipe. I know that one's right. And then finally, Devil's Dream. So I'm going to do a little medley of those tunes here for you. All taught to me by Mr. Barry Bowman in West Virginia. last one. So, those are fun. Fiddle tunes, as Barry called them, and as I will always call them as well. Okay, I'll do at least one more with this guitar here. So I mentioned earlier not being super satisfied with the current state of affairs and everything, and you know, there's a long history of protest songs, and I don't know, it's you know, that's great and all, but I don't know what's going to move the needle for some of these folks. A great song only goes so far, it seems, but at least there's a lot of them. And one that I've been playing recently for the past few months now is your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. And yeah, I'll go ahead and do that one. While digesting Reader's Digest in the back of the dirty bookstore, a plastic flag with gum on the back fell out on the floor. Well, I picked it up and ran outside and slapped it on my windshield. If I could see old Betsy Ross, I'd tell her how good I feel. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. It's already overcrowded from your dirty little wars. Now Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason's for. Your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I went to the bank this morning and the cashier said to me, if you'll join our Christmas club, I'll give you 10 of them flags for free. Well, I didn't mess around a bit. I took him up on what he said, and I stuck them stickers all over my car and one on my wife's forehead. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. It's already overcrowded from your dirty little wars. Now Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reason's for. Your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I got my window shield so filled with flags I couldn't see, so I ran my car upside the curb and right into a tree. By the time they got the doctor down, I was already dead. And I'll never understand why the man standing in the pearly gates said, well, your flag decal won't get you into heaven
anymore. We're already overcrowded from your dirty little wars. Now Jesus don't like killing, no matter what the reasons for. Your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore.
So, I don't know, folks. We'll hope for the best on all that. Of course, this is, on Facebook and on Meta, so I don't want to say too much. But, yeah, I think you get the idea. So, I'll switch guitars for a second. Here. So, yeah, just last thing I wanted to talk about how I do make these guys move when I do some of these videos. So typically there's a split screen. You've probably noticed I'm not good at it, but there's a split screen. So I will do my part. I'll play and just pretend Artie's there. He's usually just laying here, so I just kind of pretend he's there and do that part, and then I add in whatever I want him to do audio-wise, his vocal, or if he does triggers anything. That's what this drum is for. I made this out of just stuff I got from Lowe's, and put some lights in it, so that he can have something that visually cues these other sounds that you hear. So then when I'm doing them, though, I have to remember to do them. But I think it's effective. The cymbal that's on there, I don't know if it ever comes through very well, but that is because one of the first videos I did with him with the drum was for a band called Mastodon, their song The Last Baron. And it just so happened to be right around the same time that their lead guitarist, Brent Hines, passed away in a motorcycle accident. Brent Hines was kind of a wild man, and he had a forehead tattoo, and it was that design. So that's where that comes from. But yeah, so then I will take all of those the audio files and do his part separately, stitch it together. I can do all three if I can do Orion a little bit while acting like I'm not in the same frame, and then I have to do those two guys on each hand. What I didn't anticipate with the last video, which is Abilene, is first of all putting one puppet on a hand while you have a puppet on a hand is tricky, so you have to use the mouth, but then you have to hit record too so your nose actually works on phones, believe it or not. So that's some of the movie magic that I do. And I'm still learning new tricks here and there. Let's see. I'll do it in this key. So I'm gonna do one that I've been doing at every gig lately. It's the unofficial or official song of Ireland, Galway, Ireland. So it's of course written by a guy from Texas, Steve Earle. Fantastic songwriter, and got to see him live last year. Just great. And the song is called Galway Girl.
Well, I took a stroll down the old long walk of a day. I met a little girl and we started to talk of a fine soft day. And I ask you now, what's a fella to do? Her hair was black and her eyes were blue. Well, I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill prom with the Galway girl. woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. Well, I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? Well, I've traveled around, been all over this world. Boys, I ain't never seen nothing like a Galway girl.
I need to check my tuning on that for sure. But yeah, I have this. I was fortunate enough to go to Ireland a couple years ago with my mother. Fantastic trip. And according to 23andMe, I'm more English than anything. I know they have a history. But I have this kind of connection, I don't know, with Ireland. I just, and Celtic music in general, I think it's just very cool. And it's funny, I play these songs at these gigs and they're great, but they're not really what I play when I'm, at night sitting around. I kind of tend to play the same things over and over again. One of which is this medley of Irish traditional, or Celtic traditional, I should say, since I don't know exactly where they're from, tunes. So, there we go. That's better. So I thought I'd play, I don't know, a couple, and I've got to decide, do I want to do the fast ones or the slow ones? I'll do, let's do the fast ones. Why not? And I can't remember the names. I know one is called The Pure Drop. I know that's the first one. So it's kind of a two different tunes just kind of slammed together, but we'll go with it. It's nice. Yeah, well, I want to say again, because I was only going to go for like an hour on this, just to see how it went. If it, might do this some more and see what other kind of stage magic I might get into here. I've thought about, because these are all pulleys, on strings and everything, maybe making like a foot pedal that would pull on the strings. I'm trying to think of how that would work. And again, I always make a set list and then don't stick to it at all. I had this idea that I was going to end with a real bang with this crazy, aggressive Mastodon tune that I've been working on, but now that I'm here, I don't really want to do it. Instead, I think I'll play kind of a laid-back, another Irish tune. I think that's a bit more appropriate for a snowy evening. Although, fun fact, did you know it doesn't snow that much in Ireland? Hardly ever. A lot of rain. They don't get much snow. Interesting. Anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. These guys thank you as well. And yeah, we'll do one more here. This is called Shebeg and Shemore. It's Irish language. Not sure what it means. I think it's a location. Thanks again, and stay safe on those icy roads. And thanks again. Good night and good luck.